What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, December 16th. Now, in today's dog video, I want to focus on the charting and analysis of dog Bitcoin, because right now what I'm seeing is that there is a potential reversal within the MACD in the price of dog. And as you're aware, what we've mentioned on our channel is that on December 5th, roughly 11 days ago, we saw a breakout of dog from a descending trend line that lasted for 6 months. And that ended 11 days ago on December 5th. But what I'm also saying is that we could see something happen right before January 26th, where we actually start to see price movement to the upside before January 26th of 2026. You must be wondering, what does that look like? Well, don't worry, I'm going to share with you at the end of the video. But let's cover all the news that's happening around dog Bitcoin. Let's get right to it. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So dog right now is still hovering around 110, 111 million market cap. It kind of fluctuates over the past 24 hours. Over the past week, it seems to be always trading sideways. There's not really much volatility going up or down. We've just been hovering above $100 million back and forth. So nothing's really changed. Now, when I look at Bitcoin really hasn't changed either. It goes from 91,000 to 85,000. Now it's 87,000. And obviously this is an amazing feat for Bitcoin. I remember not too long ago, we were complaining when Bitcoin was at 15,000, 60,000. Now people are complaining that Bitcoin's at 87, 85,000. This is nothing new. This is what happens when people are impatient. But if you're a long-term conviction holder and you believe in crypto, believe in Bitcoin, believe in dog, all you have to do is either hodl or accumulate on these dips. Looking into the meme coin sector, not much has pumped and not much has dumped, except for Pippin, which is down roughly around close to 9%. But when I scroll down to where dog is, still ranked around 242. Even if this goes up like 2 or 4 million, it'll be like right up here in the top 200 easily. We can't really control what's happening with the macro aspect of the markets, if it's the stock market, if it's the Bank of Japan, if it's rate hikes, rate cuts, quantitative easing beginning, government related topics. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Basically, when crypto comes back, when money printing starts to print even more, we start to see liquidity flow into the markets, speculative assets such as tech, AI, and meme coins start to blossom. What I will remind you, and what the president of MoonPay, Keith Grossman, will remind you, is that meme coins will return in a different form, as their real innovation is tokenizing attention easily at low costs and democratizing access to the attention economy. So what does that actually mean? Basically, meme coins are very affordable to the everyday retail investor, and meme coins garner that much mindshare and attention from people because meme coins are the most attractive assets. As I mentioned before on CoinGecko's 2025 report, that meme coins were the main narrative throughout the entire year, and it even surpassed AI agents and AI like coins out there. So that just goes to show you that meme coins will come back, and they will come back much harder than any asset within crypto. That's just how we've seen the legacy of meme coins overall. And I really believe that Bitcoin meme coins are going to be the thing that people are going to chase. They just don't realize it yet. So you probably know that MetaMask, which is mainly an Ethereum wallet, is just rolling out their Bitcoin support. And with this update, they're only allowing Bitcoin to be traded, to be sent and received within their specific decentralized wallet. But keep in mind, just earlier on this year in 2024, MetaMask made a job report on consensus, which I reported, and everybody started retweeting that, even MetaMask themselves. And in that job posting, they were looking for somebody that was experienced in the Bitcoin atmosphere that could integrate the Lightning Network, runes, ordinals, BRC20s, layer 2 such as stacks. So basically what they were looking for was somebody that can really expand into the Bitcoin DeFi world. And I do believe that this is still coming. Now, I want to pause real quick because I want to give a shout out to the dog army in terms of how well you guys are rating. Because you obviously know who Shaw is, the listing agent over at Coinbase. And every single time that he makes a post, you can go ahead and scroll down. All the posts that are in his specific response sections are dog army related memes, posts, tickers, you name it. It's all dog army. It's all here. So you're continuing to do that. And we really want Shaw from Coinbase to not forget and lose sight of the most important community out there. Remember, community is greater than profits. And you can just see that every single time we look at these specific posts, I'll just click on this one. You can see that dog Bitcoin pops up very much below in all the responses. That's just how it is. So all of his responses on a day-to-day is always the dog army. And I want us to keep doing this because he should understand that nobody else is showing up on his account. Not XRP, no other meme coin, not even base tokens. It's just the dog army. So keep this up, and it's working. Now let's talk about Gemini. So I looked over at Cookie.fun, and apparently I'm the third largest reach in voice year to date in Gemini's ecosystem. Now, the only reason I got here, to be very honest with you, is because of the dog army. Because you can see other people right here. We have other dog army members in the specific year-to-date section, and it's because of you guys and girls out there pushing for this. And as you know, we're doing this 20-day challenge, which right now we only have roughly around 9 to 8 days left. And I want to give a shout out to some of these people like Easy E Dog, who bought $10 worth of dog on Kraken, made sure to tag Gemini, letting them know, like, listen, we want to buy dog on Gemini, but we can't find it, so we're just going to buy it on Kraken for now. Same thing with Nick. Nick also bought roughly $50 worth of dog on Kraken and tagged Gemini. We also have this person, Keys, who bought roughly $395 worth of dog on Kraken, tagged Gemini as well. We also have this person, Carl. Got to give a shout out to Carl. He's definitely been one of the huge advocates behind the dog army. He bought roughly around $10,000 on Kraken, and he tagged Gemini, which is very important. He added 16 million dog tokens to his portfolio. Now, yesterday we did have a Twitter space with blockchain.com, and blockchain.com is been around for more than 14 years, and they are well established. I think what Leonidas has told me that they sponsor the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, so they absolutely are established. And during that space, one thing caught my eye and attention, which was what the intern Zara said about the dog army, and I want to play that clip right now.
And, you know, I think one of your community members had asked, like, a question on one of the posts, I think that you did, Vincent, where they were saying, like, what does blockchain think of the dog community and basically its fervor? And I just want to tell the dog community that we've all definitely been very impressed with the dedication, for sure. I think that that is so interesting, especially as someone who's like, I'm constantly troving crypto Twitter all the time, and I'm looking at like tons of communities, and was just very surprised. And, you know, now there's the like X radar, and you can like see how many posts are like using a certain ticker, and like I think when I was looking yesterday, it was like over 60K yesterday for posts including dogs. So that was incredible.
So as you heard, blockchain and their team is very much aware of dog, and they are absolutely overwhelmed and absolutely pleased to see the amount of engagement that they've received. And as Zara said, roughly 60,000 posts just within that day within the interview, right? So that's just so crazy to share with you that the dog army is not going anywhere. The dog ticker symbol is being spread out throughout crypto Twitter, and we are here to stay. Now, remember on November 24th when Dog Brazil tagged blockchain in turn and said, hey, you know, are we going to have dog in the spot market? And 32 minutes later, they responded, right now, integrating runes involves several technical steps specific to the Bitcoin blockchain. So our team is assessing what's needed to support them properly. So blockchain is wanting to do this, but the technical part is the thing that's holding them back. And I believe that this could be happening with Gemini. You know, this could be happening with every other exchange if it's not that they're wanting a paid listing fee, but if they want to list it for free and support the dog army, then maybe it's just a matter of, do they have the right devs to help integrate the Runes protocol? And so that's something that's just right around the edge, right around the corner, that soon this will happen. Last but not least, we also have, remember, the Xverse is going to be happening on StockTwits this Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And they have roughly around 1.1 million followers mixed with crypto people, trade-fied people, you name it. And this is going to be very exciting. So it's this Thursday, December 18th. Now, let's get into the nook and cranny of this video, which is the charting analysis. Now, I mentioned something that dog could see a reversal before January 26th, and why is that? Well, as I mentioned regarding the MACD, the MACD has been trending upwards. Regardless of what we're seeing in the dog price going down, the MACD is sharing with us that even though the price is going down, the selling pressure is actually getting weaker and weaker and weaker as the weeks and days go by. So I've adjusted this yellow trend line that shows that the MACD is slowly heading upwards, is gradually getting there, but it could lead into possibly January of 2026. Now, what we saw back in December 5th, which is right around here, is that finally dog broke out of that descending blue trend line. And because of that, we now have been trading sideways with dog's price, going up and down rather than just going down. It finally stopped. But this trend line right here, which is this yellow line, this could be the signal of a reversal. I can't guarantee it, but that's just something that I think could happen. Because as you can see, where this yellow trend line ends is on January 26th. And it kind of aligns with what possibly we could see in the reversal of dog Bitcoin. Because we could see for the next coming days, maybe dog starts to do this and no one will possibly believe it, but maybe it could happen. But I can't control what's going on with the macro aspect in the market, meaning what's going to happen to Bitcoin. Is there any black swan event that's going to pop up regarding politics, global warfare, shortages of any, minerals, whatever it may be, cash reserves? So I want to look back in previously, right? If you're not confident with what I just said, let's look in the past. Now, the last two times we saw a reversal within the MACD, we saw it back over here, roughly around August of 2024. You see these two circles? These are two different areas where the support line of the MACD did touch the support line. Now, what happened to the dog price chart when that did happen? Well, let's take a look. So back on August 4th, when we saw a bottom within the MACD, you can see that the price of dog still bottomed out roughly around 200 million market cap. And even though the MACD did go up in terms of getting out of the seller's market, right around here, it's still within the 200 million market cap. But then shortly after, which is really important, we flipped into the buyer's market, which is past this purple line resistance zone. So once we cross it, we see buyer dominance, and that's what happens to the price of dog, is that it actually goes up. The same thing could be said right around here, the same thing, where we saw a bottom within the MACD. What happened to dog's price? It was still going down, but then it met a second point, which was right around here. And that's when the dog price bottomed out again, and then we flipped into the buyer's market, and then you saw that reflected into the dog price, setting it upwards. What are you seeing happening right here? The exact same thing. We saw the very bottom of a MACD bottoming out right here on this yellow trend line. Then we revisited further on November 21st. And now what we're seeing is potentially, even though this may be a lagging effect, the reversal to go back to the upside. And it could just be as violent as the previous two cycles. So hopefully this information is very helpful for you, but we could see this happen before January 26th. So with that said, now you're seeing all the data that I've shared with you. That's what I saw in terms of charting and analysis regarding that January 26th date, and also what we're seeing in terms of the MACD in relevance to the dog price. So I can't control what's happening in the macro market. Anything could happen. As much as there's black swan events, there's also white swan events that no one can account for. So keep this in mind. Keep yourself prepared. Anything could happen within a short time frame, because as I've shared with you before, is that parabola events can last between 40 days up to 90 days, which was Dogecoin. But 20 to 40 days typically is what historically all these dog themed meme coins have had parabola events, when they experience massive 1,000 to 8,000 to even million% gains. It's that crazy. So with all the data that I've shared with you, please let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. So go ahead and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog on the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.